Here we are at the Putt-Putt Speedway. Big race today at the Putt-Putt Speedway.
They're off in a flash. I'm in a crash. The putt-putt drivers are going again. One of these guys is going to win.
There are surprises at the Putt-Putt Speedway. Lots of fun and thrills at the Putt-Putt Speedway. It's ripping, roaring, racing fun.
Putt-Putt Speedway comes unassembled with race cars, drivers made to fit them, and everything else here from Mattel.
The bank robbers are getting away. Bertie Bird Air Police chopper takes off. Headquarters has them on the screen. They're turning south onto Route 5. And you're after them. You drop the roadblock and go for a hookup. Now you move it forward, steady it, and lower it. You've got them. Now you bring them in. 10-4. The Bertie Bird Air Police comes with everything you see here from Mattel. Batteries not included.
Jamaica, the warm, exotic island in the Caribbean, has a bustling tropical city. Summery mountains, sizzling nightlife, sunny open-air markets, many beautiful beaches, and all kinds of warm, beautiful faces. Come, our warmth is just hours away.
Because so many Americans think getting drunk is fun, we thought you might like to join us in the National Drinking Game. Just answer yes or no to the following 10 questions. Do you talk a lot about drinking?
Only when I'm awake.
Do you drink more than you used to?
I try to.
Do you gulp your drinks?
Only out of a glass.
Do you often take a drink to feel better? Do you drink alone?
Only if I'm stuck.
Do you ever forget what you did while you were drinking? Do you keep a bottle hidden somewhere for quick pick-me-ups?
How does he know?
Do you sometimes start drinking without really thinking about it?
Sometimes.
Do you need a drink to have fun?
I do now.
Do you ever take a drink in the morning to relieve a hangover?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. If you had 4 or more yes answers, then you may be one of over 9 million Americans with a drinking problem.
Coming! We're coming! Oh, thanks, man from Glad.
Uh-oh. Here comes old Thin-Bags Blevins again.
You'd think living in this town he'd know. Glad garbage bags are the ones that really hold a load.
That's why they're called the strong ones. Right, man from Glad?
Right.
I thought I was going to be late for the garbage truck. No, Mr. Blevins, you're just in time. Jump right in.
Glad garbage bags, the strong ones.
A season of light. A season of joy. A season of festivals. A season of peace. A season also to remember safety pays. Make sure your light cords and holders are in good shape and that new ones carry this label. And don't let the tree get dry.
Even though I don't spend my whole life in the open air, I try to look as if I do. I even want the color of my hair to look as healthy and natural as sunshine. And I want my hair to be silky and nice to touch. That's why I like Nice and Easy. It's got built-in conditioners, and the color looks so natural, it lets me be me. I guess that's why Nice and Easy is the best-selling hair color.
What makes Food City's countdown prices such a great value? Food City's quality.
Canada Grade A beef carefully trimmed by master butchers. A wide selection of fresh domestic and imported fruits and vegetables. Quality dairy products, so fresh they're guaranteed. And baked goods prepared fresh daily under rigid supervision. You get quality and countdown prices at Food City, where the cost of eating well is lower than you think.
What up, Cyberspace Cadet, Cyber Fam bots everywhere. That's right. Ring that bell. Ring that bell, people. It's IRATE Prostate. It's Sunday. You know what that means. It's time for ice cream. Say hey to the people on Odyssey, the Odesians out there, the Famericans, my Famerica. I love you. It's cringy as hell, but hell, I'm going with it. I like it. So today is, of course, it's ice cream interview. The reason I call it ice cream interview is simple. Most people consider ice cream to be a treat. And to me, a treat is talking to somebody that I find interesting. Just before the show, we got into this conversation. I mean, it was like, so it's like, I found this guy very interesting. We had bumped into each other in streams here and there. And then like, I think 2 months ago, I want to say, we were hanging out with Pants Ninja. And he's an awesome motherfucker. I love that dude. And we were all talking horror, man. And Mad Metal Man was, it's like I wanted to talk more and more about stuff with him, but I had to go. And so I made a mental note of it, and I hit him up, and he said, "Sure, you do the show." So I said, "Hell yeah, let's do the show, man." All right, so yeah, Trippy, I fixed that shit. All right, hopefully. Oh, well, nobody can, only people that could hear me was at least I wasn't muted for the fucking, the people, but I was muted for Mad Metal Man. He didn't hear anything I just said, but, he knows kind of the ropes of what we're doing here.
No, I can't hear anything. What the fuck?
Can you hear me now? Mad Metal Man?
Oh no!
Oh no! What do we got going here? Wow!
I can see the talking, but I don't hear anything anymore.
What were you hearing me earlier? Turn. No, Daddy, no. Well, hey.
Can anyone hear me?
Pop out and pop back in.
No. God damn it.
Hold on a second. I'm going to boot you and then pop you back in, okay? Yeah, we can hear Mad Metal Man. Are you there, but can you hear me now?
Technology. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, fan-fucking-tastic, killer. Yeah, man, it's ever since Microsoft took over Discord, it's been acting fucking stupid like that shit. And I really don't like StreamYard because they fuck with my settings. But that's a different that's a different ball of wax. I was telling everybody earlier that that we had gotten into a discussion about horror before the show started, and then we it was. The reason that I asked you onto the show was because of the conversation we had with Pants Ninja, and and so I'm kind of bringing everybody up to speed. I do want to thank everybody for showing up. Hell yeah!
Yeah,
people be rolling in too. We got some folks.
Entertaining then.
Well, yeah, we're all entertaining, even I don't know. I'm entertaining when I don't want to be. I'm just saying. Some people find me fascinating, and some people think I'm a boring motherfucker.
I mean, I'm an idiot. I'm amused by puppets. So.
Yes, I'm a moron on the internet. Correct. Then you and I will get along great. Shit. All right, so the way I do this thing is I've got some questions. I've even got some like randomly generated questions by AI that I've started like every once in a while. I'll just pick one of those, right? But I have a standard battery that I've created here, designed. It's kind of like if you're a musician, it's kind of like a piece of jazz music. And, it's like, in other words, there's a basic, structure. And if we want to go on tangents and improvise and jam out, we can do that, And what I mean by that is by talking and getting into shit, right? So without any further ado, are you ready to roll and answer those questions?
Yeah. However, they are saying I'm a little bit quiet in the chat. So,
okay. I've tried to crank you up. Hold on a second.
I mean, I can increase my input volume real quick.
Yeah. Pop it up about 20%. Let me see. I thought they were hearing.
Right, is it sounding a little too much now or a little bit better?
I'd rather it be just it's got a little pop when you're hitting the highs. So, but it's not anything that anybody would turn down. You know what I'm saying? Would say, let's see.
All right. Well, I'm sitting at 90%. I can crank it all the way up to 100, but way better. Okay. Yeah. I kind of lowered my settings earlier because it was
okay. Dude, it's not cracking now either. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
It wants you. I think it might want you to run it full blast. I know it likes it when I do it. So you know how that.
And yes, Ortiz, I'm hitting highs.
Yeah, indeed. So, all right. Now that we got that shit smoothed out, people, everybody can hear. And we got good jams in the background. We're just going to sit back and just chill out, man, with my man, Mad Metal Man. Is there anything you prefer I call you?
I mean, you can call me Mad Metal Man if you want to. You can actually call me Jesse. I really don't mind.
Okay.
You can know my name. It's totally cool with me.
All right. Killer. All right. So Jesse. All right. Or I'm just calling you Man. How about Man? Hey, Man.
Like I was going to say, a lot of people just call me Metal.
All right. All right. So the first question, and it's like, I've been doing this thing a long time, and like about maybe a month ago, somebody goes, and it's Becca Fairley, said, well, why do you ask them their favorite flavor of ice cream? I've been like doing this, this is like the 169th show, 69. So yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. So all right, so what is your favorite flavor of ice cream color? What's your favorite color?
My favorite color of ice cream would be cookies and cream. Actually,
oh yeah,
it's my go-to. It's real easy, real simple. No frills, no chills. Just it's got everything you need, man. It's a little bit of cookies, a little bit of ice cream. You're good and golden.
Cool. So, all right, what is your least favorite ice cream flavor?
Neapolitan, because it's a fucking cock tease all the way through.
Right? Good answers. I like them. All right, so this is where we get into the general battery questions, and it always starts at YouTube. And we kind of come around full circle at YouTube. And everybody, if you, I highly suggest just subscribe to Metal Man. His link is in the chat. His Twitter link's in the chat as well. Get him on Twitter. Hitsu says you vibrate when you laugh.
Yeah, that goes back to the whole chainsaw laugh. I've apparently become known for, even though it sounds more like a I think it sounds more like a choking cat, but you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Okay. All right. So how long have you been around YouTube, and what made you decide to start, I don't know, doing content?
Oh, that's assuming you can call what I do content. Let's see here. It started back in about 2013, 2014, after the suspension and hiatus of a band due to issues outside of our control. Yeah, I just decided to kind of run a little bit with the character that I'd already built up there and just changed it around a little bit, and then started poking around social media around 2014, really, but I don't think I actually talked to anyone or made connections until about 2017, probably early 2017. That was when I first started popping into chats, and I think it was later that year, I met Opal, and she pulled me into the first stream I was on, which I believe was Thorn Midnight, if I remember correctly.
I know Thorn, yeah.
And then I just decided it's like, okay, I really enjoy this idea of pulling people in and talking, but I kind of hate the idea of having a preset panel. Like, oh, I've got these people I'm going to bring on. No, I got a better idea. I'm just going to start throwing the fucking link out onto Twitter and see who shows up.
Back in the day. Yeah.
But I wound up having some really interesting conversations. I wound up meeting some very interesting people and bringing some really interesting people together. Pickle keeps saying that if it wasn't for me, it was he and Trippy. He wouldn't have met Trippy because it was just so randomly that he clicked on Twitter a while, years ago. The only one that's a mystery is I cannot for the life of me, and neither can he. Gaming and I cannot remember where the fuck we met each other. It's somewhere around there, around maybe episode 3 of the Toxic Stream. So I'd only been doing it for like 3 months, but still can't figure out where he came in. But yeah, no, it didn't even.
Well, and it's not like he's really easy to forget, right?
No, and I mean, he and I got along immediately, and I mean, we've been pretty close ever since. I love the guy.
He's a very amicable dude, indeed.
Oh yeah. And let's see. Honestly, even the Toxic Streams, like that wasn't what I originally had planned with this. I planned to cover metal bands that people had never heard of, or covering some of the movies that, by God, they're trash, but they're still gold in some way.
Right. And we're going to touch on more of that in a little bit. Because we definitely got to explore. We got to explore that thing. Do a jazz excursion, like I say. So, all right, talk about your persona a little bit, all right? Because you do you project this. One of those photographs reminded. Are you familiar with a painter named Michael Husser?
I am not actually.
The one with the blue eyes and the clown grin. I think I can if I want to, I can do this shit. I'll put it up here and
yeah, feel free to share whatever I sent you.
Okay, I'm gonna just put the new image. All right, just give me 1 second because I want people to see this because it's really cool. It's some cool imagery. Yeah.
That's actually one that Hitsu retouched.
Oh, wow. It looks great. And like I say, it reminds me of this, people, if you're into art that kind of looks in this vein, Michael Husser is a fantastic artist. And he's a legit deal too. he teaches classes in, flesh tones and glaze techniques and shit. So he's the real deal. But yeah, I love that. I love this picture. It's really cool. But I didn't, it's like I didn't want to use it because I didn't want to, like, it's the way that it's set up. It's well done. I didn't want to fuck the composition up, and that's the truth. Yeah,
you couldn't have fucked it up any worse than I would have, man. So
it looks great.
Well, yeah, you can thank Hitsu for that. Like, honestly, the original version is just me with the makeup, the contacts, and the tea. But I wasn't actually, I didn't actually put much more effort into it than, look, I put on makeup, selfie time.
Right. So you want to talk? You want to talk about your adornment and the way you present yourself? Because you're a very striking person.
The funny thing is outside of the teeth and the makeup, the Metal Man and I are really not much different. It really is kind of just me.
Mm-hmm.
I do play off the whole idea that, I scare children. Yeah, I can. I've had a lot of piercings. My voice is so kids can get the wrong impression, especially when you show up and you're wearing like blackout contacts or something like that. They'll scream and run away, hide behind their parents laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, as much as I'd like to say that the Metal Man is a creation of his own and I can distance myself from it, very much is me. It's just the shit that I wound up really gravitating towards, and now I've got this character that I can kind of throw it out there into the world, and it's not much different than me, but at the same time there is a bit more fuck you to the people that they kind of shat on the ideas that I had growing up. I had a lot of people kind of like look down on me for the amount of horror I was into. I was always, oh, there's something wrong with you. Well, yeah, there's plenty of wrong with me, but watching horror isn't one of them.
Yeah, that's it's interesting how I was kind of treated kind of freakishly too back in the day in the neighborhood because I loved horror films. I used to get this magazine called Famous Monsters, a Filmland magazine, and yeah, back that. See, I am dating myself, but yeah, that's where the painting from London After Midnight. That's a Basil Gauguin painting of Lon Chaney Sr. In that character, playing the character, and I can't remember his name's Doctor or something.
And it's just a crime that movie will probably never be seen, because I know there's supposedly like 1 or 2 copies that survived the fire, but
yeah, and they thought they found a copy of it in Guatemala like about 3 or 4 years ago, and they got it back and they opened it up and it was a different movie.
Oh God, that's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, and the silver nitrate that was on the film, it started crumbling too. That stuff is just yeah, it's almost like nitroglycerin. When it gets that way, it's very flammable, highly flammable. We'll say hey to some fam out there. I see Ortiz 805. People, if you want to hear another fantastic ice cream, I would recommend that one. TW, what's up? Duck Dog, Hitsugi, of course. Sorry about the Nightbot bullshit. Man, Nightbot was just being abusive. I gotta fucking look up under the hood and figure out what the hell I need to yank. Asherella, greetings. Shouting at clouds, what's up, man? Super sexy Christ consciousness. All right. Hey, I saw you earlier in Trippy's thing, and since you're in blue, it's like I obviously know you. I don't know who you are though. The Dark One. Hello, Dark One.
The Satan. I am familiar with her.
Indeed. Neil, greetings. Uzi Q, of course, my one and only. And Mirror Mantis, greetings. It's good to see everybody out there, man. Good, comfortable, chilling out and shooting the shit. All right, so this is where we kind of go into biographical stuff.
Okay.
And it's like, and like I tell everybody beforehand, it's like how deep or how shallow, for lack of a better word, just how you want to touch on the subject is yours to answer. That's why I try to design the questions to where the person that I'm talking to feels the most comfortable and more, because the more comfortable you feel, the more open you'll be, and the more genuine that the exchange is. And that's what I love about this, because every show's different, man.
I generally don't pull back too much, man. If it gets too personal, I'll probably just, I'll probably shirk it off as being a little too personal, but I'll go pretty deep for the most part.
Okay. All right. So is there a food from your childhood that you hated and now as an adult you actually love it or like it a lot?
A food? Ooh. Damn. Honestly, I can't think of one that I hated as a child that I don't still hate today.
Well, yeah, that's the case a lot of times. That's fair enough.
I'll at least give you guys that. Mainly coconut, can't stand it. I love the smell, and so you'd think that I'd be okay with or the texture or something, but nope, I just can't do it. Makes me a very unhappy person. Followed by almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts. Not big into those guys.
Right. What about cashews?
I will eat cashews and peanuts all day long, until I develop an allergy to them. Anyway.
Right. So, all right. If you could describe your family with one word growing up, what would it be?
I'd have to use two, and I'd have to say subdued chaos.
Interesting. That's a fantastic description. Talk about that.
Well, okay, so it's a little strange because, there was discipline in my house, but there was always something happening too. Mom was always doing something. My dad was always doing something. My grandfather was always doing something and trying to pull me along with him. So there was just a lot of constant movement. And I don't necessarily mean moving from one town to another. I just mean there was always something being done. Mom was going to paramedic classes. She was becoming a firefighter. Dad was becoming a landscaper and a licensed irrigator. And my grandfather, I found out years later exactly what it was that he worked on. He told me that he did calculators at Texas Instrument. No, he was one of the leads on the development of the HARM missile.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so there was finding that out years later after his death. It was just like, whoa, okay, that makes so much more sense now. Now I understand why he was flying all over the world and being like, oh, I got so many frequent flyer miles. You get to come with me, kid.
Yeah, isn't the HARM missile an anti-radar weapon?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, it's used by like wild weasels and shit, and what do they call them now? Growlers. Yeah, it's designed to take out the radar, and brilliant, man. It was a game changer in Vietnam. Actually, one of the game changers that helped. wild weasels were fucking crazy. But
looking into stuff like that, it's like, wow, man.
That's kind of cool, man. Right?
It's kind of cool. It also explains my grandfather on so many different levels because he was I'd say that's probably where I get a lot of my personality from, is from him, because I spent a lot of time around the man. But he was absolutely fascinated with owning as many science fiction books as he could possibly get his hands on.
Cool.
To the point that when he died, I think there was like 2 or 3 18-wheeler, the tractor trailer containers.
Right.
I keep forgetting what they're actually called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, storage containers, right?
Yeah, storage containers. Yeah, he would have had about 3 of those completely full.
Wow. That's amazing. So he was an avid science fiction fan. Did that
almost to the point that I am a horror fan.
Okay.
If not more so.
Right. Well, kind of, I think that traits, like obsessiveness run in the family.
And it very much is an obsession, because I don't think I would have pulled myself out of certain spots in life if it hadn't been for horror and metal. And honestly, it's my go-to comfort blanket.
Right. So who would you say you were closest to? Your grandfather? Mom, dad?
I'd probably say my mom first, my grandfather second, and then everyone else just kind of shuffled in behind him. They were definitely the 2 that shaped me the most.
Did your folks remain together? Are they still intact, or?
Let's see. So, my biological father, I have never known, and I'm sorry, I don't particularly give a fuck on ever knowing. The man that I called Dad growing up was my first stepfather. He passed away a few years ago, and
sorry.
The man that I would have liked to have called my stepfather, he passed away, I guess, what was it, like 2013, 14? Maybe a little bit past that, 16. There's been a lot of that shit, so it's kind of hard to remember exactly when, but yeah, so as much as I would have liked to have been close to
but it sounds like that there was still a strong male presence in your life growing up.
There very much was. My stepfather growing up was he was ex-airborne ranger. He had served in Korea and had a whole lot of scars to prove it. And so there was very much this constant push of, you work for what you get and you do what you can not to dishonor yourself in the process. Oh, was it 2012? Okay, yeah, 2012.
So would you say that that's kind of an integrity value that you've internalized, you've held on to?
Yeah, I'd say so. Unfortunately, almost to a militant degree. It's you do what you can for your friends and your family, and if you're that close to them, sometimes your friends are your family.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes down to it, you bleed for them, you take a bullet for them.
Indeed. So as what kind of a kid were you when you were young, like elementary age?
Hyper as fuck. I was one of those kids that was all fucking over the place. I remember when they developed I was a prime candidate for it. Honestly, man, there was something about going outside and just finding shit to get into, like go find a creek, go find a cave or whatever may be around, and just, I don't know, go explore, go find out something, figure shit out, see what happens in nature.
What was the craziest thing you did as a little kid? Adventure-wise.
As a kid, it always stayed pretty tame. It wasn't until about 13 or 14 that I really started having adventures, but that's completely different subject. That was before mind-altering substances came into it. So I'd say probably just almost getting lost, wandering around in people's like back areas, because some of it was wooded, but a lot of it was farmland, and so go walk around and it's like, oh shit, whose property am I on? Crap,
yeah,
let me get shot. Wait, it's my house.
Get an ass full of rock salt, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, those guys would definitely have the rock salt packed into the shotgun. I don't want to deal with that, man. These are the old crotchety, you know.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, but get out of my goddamn field. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
So but one, two scragglers standing there just, goddamn kid, get the fuck out of here.
All right, so do you have a favorite holiday or season, time of year that has special meaning for you?
The only holiday I actually celebrate would be Halloween. And it's because it's fucking Halloween. It's the one time of year people don't look like I'm a fucking lunatic.
Why am I not surprised, right?
It's the one time people actually seem to appreciate the things in life that are a bit more on the macabre, the things that are supposed to challenge your view on death, the things that are supposed to prepare you, at least somewhat psychologically, for the horrors that mankind has to offer one another. So, yeah.
That's a very philosophical, I dig that. It's, see, a lot of people is like, I think it's cool, right? You know? So it's nice to see some kind of value reflected in that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
There's so much history. There's so many deep connections along the human psyche, along ancient religion. I mean, the holiday is probably one of the more fascinating. The one that would probably come right after that would be, of course, Christmas. But no, Halloween will always have some sort of special meaning to me, just because, if nothing else, it's the one time of year that spooky is cool, and I at least don't get threatened by the local rednecks that they're gonna stomp my fucking teeth.
And if you could go back in time and talk to little Mad Metal Man or little Jesse at the age of 8, what would you say? What would you say to yourself?
It's gonna get real fucking bad, but you're gonna live through it. Enjoy the ride. I've thought about that several times over the years, and it's like, would I go back and actually change anything? And despite the heartache, the pain, the joy, the laughter, the good times, the bad times, it wouldn't be me today if I hadn't gone through it.
It's all led to here, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you live, you live. Try to live as much as you can in your day-to-day life. That way, if you die, well, maybe you won't have any regrets. At least nothing super tangible, you know. Oh, I wish I had been a rock star. Well, yeah, fuck you and everybody else that wanted that too.
Right.
You know, you're not exactly special on that front, but can you look back and say, you know, hey, lived an okay life. I had a few adventures here. I met kick-ass people, and I'm good. I'm out.
Nice. You know, so what was elementary and middle school like for you?
Probably a little bit different than most people's. I was homeschooled from from 3rd grade up until I graduated. It offered me opportunities to actually go and see like lectures at places. I would take college-based classes at a much younger age, but honestly, at that point in time, the homeschooling, while good, was also extremely religious. And so I had the Catholic catechisms and everything like that burned into my fucking skull for about 7 years straight.
That was raised Catholic. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Catholics, but I do have a problem with the system.
Yeah. Oh, dude, don't get me going on that shit. A fucking communist pope right now.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
Yeah, right. Let's focus on good shit.
I'm gonna wind up on another fucking list if I talk about the Pope, man.
Sorry. So, were you an artistic kid? Musical, artistic, or were you more academically inclined or athletically inclined?
A little bit of everything. I started playing soccer when I was about 5. I stopped playing soccer when I was about 17. 17, about 18. I made it to semi-pro. I was actually traveling to play places, and I really didn't like how my knees were feeling.
Oh shit.
So
did it blow out your knees, man?
No. Surprisingly enough, despite having I'm sorry, I keep like turning away from the mic. Despite having flat feet and running really hard for most of my early my knees are still intact, and I don't really have any problems with them, save the occasional old man popping, because I'll be turning 40 soon.
Yeah, you're a baby.
Yeah, September I'll be 40, but so not that soon, but it'll be here fucking faster than I know.
Oh man,
dude, I fucking blinked in 2020, 2021. Where the fuck did they go?
Yeah, no doubt, dude. And the older you get, the faster this shit goes. It's a crime, right? Because when you're a kid, I mean, you know, a day it seems like it lasts a week. You know?
No.
You know, so whoever said youth is wasted on the young is just got my vote. I think it was Samuel Clemens that said that. So.
I think I tried really hard to get as much living in as early as I could, or at least that's what it seems like. Because yeah, I managed to play soccer for a good amount of time. I took vocal coaching and was trained to sing operatically. I wound up going to live painting and oil painting and watercolor classes. I learned piano to a degree, but I really hated being told what to do it's like, let me just find the notes.
Yeah.
I know something here. Let me just find the notes. I'm not interested in playing other people's shit. Let me do my thing. And in the process of that, I also, you know, mind-altering substances and
Okay, well, all right. So was all this like during high school, or after?
Mainly junior high. Okay, well, let's see. Not to give too much away, let's just say early teens to about middle teens.
Okay.
And that was the hardest stuff anyway. And then afterwards, it kind of dwindled out around the time that I turned 18.
So
and I pretty much stopped drinking by the time I was 21. So.
Oh wow! I was going to say, well, what about talk about the first time you got shit faced?
Time I got shit faced, I believe it was a bottle of Skull vodka. Back on this guy's property with about, I want to say like 10 other people.
Mm.
And I think I was like 12 at the time, honestly. Don't even know what the fuck I was doing out there. But yeah, thought it was cool to try to drink the whole goddamn thing. It was a small bottle of Skull, but still, you know, not even trained alcoholics want to drink that shit.
So you drank for a period of time, but what made you quit?
Waking up one morning and immediately grabbing the Jägermeister.
Mm.
I figured it was like, oh, I'm reaching for it before I'm even out of bed. This is a very bad sign.
Mm.
Cut this beforehand, and I had already had some addiction issues in between there, so it's like, yeah, we're just not going to continue down this fucking road.
Talk about the addiction issues. What happened?
Fucked up things happened, and my response was, I'm just going to do a lot of drugs and forget about this shit. And so, yeah, I wound up falling into acid and heroin and cocaine mainly.
Wow.
Those were my favorite choices, and that was all before I started smoking weed, so.
That's like jumping in the deep end first, man, right? It's like, wow.
Weed is the gateway drug. No, the fuck it isn't. You know what it is? The human monsters. That's what does it to you.
Pain, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Psychic
bullshit.
Psychic pain or physical pain. It's the human condition too, is pain.
Oh yeah.
So, what about music? What was the first band or what was the first like album that you ever bought? Do you remember buying?
Okay. It took me a second, but yeah, Live, Throwing Copper.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it was one of those things if I had, I'd grown up listening mostly to classical and country music and like classic rock, like, well, I hate saying classic rock because it wasn't that classic at the time, but shit like R and stuff like that. That's what I grew up around. When I first started listening to the radio, it was by my choice. It was like alternative music because I saw some videos that got played on TV, and it's like, all right, cool, let's listen to this shit. Seems to piss my parents off. All right. And
what was it?
Yeah. Hell, honestly, Live's Throwing Copper was just a good album in general. I think the one that came after that probably Green Jello's Serial Killer soundtrack, because I remember seeing the art. My mom was like, cool, grab, and then she listened to it later. Boy, did I get trouble for that.
Man,
Especially
I remember
walking
them.
around the house.
Yes.
Yeah, walking around the house singing shit, man. Oh yeah, mom's gonna fucking love that.
You're gonna love that. What about the first time you went to a concert? What was that? What was it that like? What band?
Oh shit.
Hey,
The
Trippy.
first one that I can remember wanting to go to and actually somehow gathering up the money for it was I believe it was 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, and Hole at Deep Ellum in
Dude.
Dallas. That would have been like 94, 95. Something
Man.
like that.
Yeah.
Then, of course, my next concert was Dimmu Borgir and Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, that was. I remember the 90s. Yeah, we had a kid that mowed our yard, man, and he loved Cannibal Corpse, and it's like, I didn't get into him till later, but it was great stuff. Good meaty metal. It's good old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into that. I love that industrial metal shit too. Big Ministry fan.
I've gotten to see Ministry, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Manson, Velvet Acid Christ, Bile. Fucking love Bile. Man, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of them.
There's so many.
There were for a little bit, and then they kind of dried up. And now you're seeing some spike up here and there, but there's still not a whole lot of love for the industrial scene, and it really kind of pisses me off. I fucking love industrial metal.
I just want to thank a unknown archive for $20 paying his rent. Thank you, sir. You don't need any rent, but we dig you, bro. All right. All right, kind of moving on. Let's see. All right. So after your high school years, what happened in your life? Were there any relationships, anything like that kind of rolling in?
Relationships kind of came, went, some stayed, some left. But for the most part, after high school, I kind of started focusing more on the idea of not even making money doing music, but I just wanted to do music. That was my driving force for a very long time, and so that's hell. Even where the first introduction of a moniker that used 3 M's popped up, because we started a punk metal band that we called Triple M, but the M's would always change. It depended on what we were.
It was like MDC. I remember that, man. Yeah, I like that kind of thing, man. That's kind of funny. Yeah, have fun with it.
What's the name of your band? Mutilated Midget Mammogram.
I love it.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it really fucked with people, but we got a little bit of play in Germany, Japan, and San Antonio. But like nothing grandiose. It was just, but it was like, oh, cool. We actually have a small little fan base. This is awesome.
Yeah,
and that's the one that actually has been around the longest and went on hiatus about 10 years ago. But the bass player is coming back, so hopefully within the year or so, we'll have all our old shit, and we can all share in the wonder that is songs about Bigfoot stalking you and doing horrible sexual acts to you, or beer can sodomies, or something. Yeah, it kind of depends on what we feel like.
There's this great band from the UK. It's a two-piece called Slaves, right? And they have a song called Debbie, Where's Your Car? And it's about like getting lost and being chased by a Sasquatch. It's funny as shit, but it's like old school punk sounding. The dude's got a real Johnny Rotten kind of delivery. It's good stuff. Guitar, drums, and the drummer sings. That's it. Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it kind of reminds me of something similar to the Frog.
Mm-hmm. Or even they remind me of there was a band called Suicide and a band called Sparks back in a long time ago, where two pieces that sound like that make big noise. I love that shit. Doing more with less.
Sparks was what, like 78?
Yeah, and the singer looked like Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that guy. Yeah.
Right.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Go check out the Sparks, everybody.
Yeah, they're still doing shit, man. That's a story on all its own. But this is all about you. So, all right. So, are you married, or have you been married? Do you have any kids? What's
the family stuff? I don't really go into, man. That's
okay. Well,
and that is. There's always been this weird. I've always felt it weird about people boasting too much of their relationships. I saw a lot of it growing up in just really weird ways. So I typically keep my relationships private.
Well, there you go.
That it's one of those things of, but since that's not what I focus on when I do stuff like this, it's not something that I ever really feel addressing. My typical response is, think what you want, but sure, you're right.
Right. All right. I like that. Yeah.
I've heard some really weird things over the years, and at one point, somebody thought I was. I'm like this because I go hunting for cross dressers on like Tinder or something. And it's like, no.
Okay.
But if that's the theory you want to roll with, I'm totally fine. Sure. Yes, I'm out there just looking for trannies. Make sure you clip that, everybody.
Say it again, man. No. We'll clip it. I'll clip it for you.
I see somebody in the chat I haven't seen in a long ass time.
Well, say hey to
what
him,
up,
man.
The Ripper?
What up, who?
Mitch the Ripper. I haven't seen him in a good
minute. Mitch. Yeah, Mitch is. He's done this show. Still his mellow self, hanging out with Ridgedale Brand, doing their thing.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to catch up with him at some point.
He's a solid dude, man. I like him a lot. All right, so now we're getting. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he was actually one of the first people I wound up talking to online. Like vocally, not just through chats and bullshit.
Right. Well, he can get deep on some stuff, man. That's what I like about him. He'll go there, and I'm kind of like water. I'll seek a level, with the person I'm talking to, and I like it when they take me deep. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sounds weird. All right, it's like, all right. So here's where, this is where we get down to brass tacks. It's like this group of questions right here. What's your favorite horror film? Favorite horror director? Horror author? Favorite sci-fi film? Author? Director? And then we'll go from there. We can talk all day about horror, you and I, because that's when I knew we clicked.
Okay, well, you just opened a major can of worms there. All right, let's see if we can get into this. Some sort of a succinct segment. I can't give a single favorite movie. I think at this point, honestly, either it'd have to fall under how I'm feeling for the day. And
Okay.
Night of the Demons, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, The Color Out of Space.
Which one? The Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, the Nicolas Cage
That
one.
Man, that was really well done. My wife did not think so, but I'm in agree. I agree with you. And Tommy Chong did a great job on that show, in that movie.
Considering how the original story is written, yeah, there's some things you could have done a little bit better, but it was going to have to be changed to a degree anyway. Just fact of the matter.
Right.
At the same time, like, they did an excellent job on the rewrites of it and the reallocation of things. It still came across like the same story. It wasn't just
it was faithful to the right. It was faithful to the spirit of the story, I think.
Yeah, very much so. Accuracy to what it actually was. Like, all right, well, first off, look at the names of the characters in the original story. Nahum Gardner. Cool. Who the fuck has the name Nahum anymore?
Right.
All right, right there, you're going to have to start changing some stuff just so people...
Well, there may be like some fundamental Mormons, that are still do the polygamy thing, but those kind of names. I don't know.
But
that was a shot at somebody, a loving shot.
And I'd have to say that there is one more, and it's kind of a newer one, but it would be Carousel, which is part of the reason why I did what I could to get Steve Rudzinski to come on and talk with me. Pants Ninja.
Dude, I have not seen that, and I've got to see that shit.
Oh yeah, if you get a chance, watch all of it. Like not just Carousel, but like his entire catalog. It's entertaining as hell, and he works within his limitations, and that's to be respected.
Indeed, it's very difficult to create a great movie on a low budget, but it can be done, right? Look at Carpenter, Halloween, right? That was the low budget. He had enough budget though; he could get Donald Pleasance, right, for that. But you can go more base than that. The Herschel Gordon Lewis stuff, which we were talking about earlier, and the Birth of Gore. The good low budget. The first Paranormal Activity was a good low budget horror film. Fucking all, what?
It really wasn't that bad. I know a lot of people gave it shit, but no, it was a perfectly fine movie.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. It's good stuff. I would say, so what in your mind, if somebody says you've got to say something, what in your opinion is the perfect horror film?
I think that kind of depends on the end result you're looking for, because horror and comedy kind of run simultaneous to one another. So
they can, yeah.
Are you trying to make someone laugh or while experiencing something horrific, or are you trying to just straight up scare the shit out of them? The scares, man, I have seen so many nowadays. It's really solid, but I would say you really want a good horror movie, something that encapsulates the original idea or source material, as well as the execution of it. Exorcist, it's a good movie.
What is? It's like why don't you hop back out and hop back in the live studio? It's okay. It's doing that again, and it's not you. It is Discord. Brian Stelter says Discord is a bad boy. And Frankenberry. Yeah, I know. All right, try it now. Hey, man, Metal Man.
Okay, am I good now?
Fantastic. There you go. All right. So you were in the middle of a sentence, and it kind of broke up.
I'd say Exorcist 3.
Oh my God! I was gonna say that.
As far as like the, what would be like an almost perfect horror movie? It would probably be that.
No shit, man. That's a fucking.
People can fight me on that.
Oh, dude! First night. This is a great story. First time I saw that movie, I was working alone.
Oh shit! Now I can't hear you, man.
Oh, fuck!
Try this one.
It's like, what is going on? Damn it, Discord. Discord. Fix it up. But
all right, are we good now?
Can you hear me now? Check 1 2.
I can hear you now.
Yeah. It's kind of it's kind of this warbly thing. I don't know what's going on.
It's because I decided to come on. It was working fine until I decided to come on.
Did you hate that shit?
This is almost every single time I try to do something other than just, you're already streaming here, let me jump in real quick. If it's planned out and I have anything to do with it, no. Technical issues all over the fucking place.
That's crazy. Well, all right. So you were talking. We were talking about Exorcist 3 being the perfect horror film, and I was telling you about. All right. So the first time I saw it, I was working in a psych hospital, right? And I was working the night shift all by myself, and they had a VHS, and they would go rent movies for the patients and stuff. And so he's like, I'd done my rounds, and I popped that thing on and watched it, and it literally creeped me out. It was so good, and that movie, I can see it over and over and over again, and it just withstands the test of time. Usually I'll see something and I'll get burned out on it.
That can happen.
Yeah. I was going to ask, all right, so what's your opinion? Have you seen Hereditary?
I have not seen Hereditary yet. That will be something that comes up soon, though. I can promise. Right now, I am suffering through the holy days of Christmas. Jesus Christ, man. The amount of Krampus movies that are out there.
Krampus, yeah.
So far, only one of them has been worth the shit, and that's the one that came out in theaters. All the other ones,
the first
do
one.
Yourself a favor.
Toni Collette, man, she only picks good scripts. She's a really good talent. So she's in Hereditary, man. It's a good movie. A lot of people argue with me about that one. It is based off the second Exorcist book called Legion. You're correct, sir. The Dark One wins. Yes. Sorry about that. And I'll hit
yeah, she would know.
And we kind of touched on earlier. Add moderator. Dark One is now wrenched. Sorry about that. I can't do it all. I gotta, and I still screw shit up. All right, so where was I going with this shit?
Yeah, Exorcist 2 was kind of.
Yeah, no, man. It was, it was bad. It was not, I don't know.
Let's address the one that has Brad Dourif and George C. Scott,
Yes.
And not just fancy camera angles and James Earl Jones.
All right, so Anne Frankenberry brings up Cronenberg, which is kind of cool. His stuff is atmospheric and can be like very low key, but it's like almost like Canadians doing horror, because he is a Canadian, A and B. That's where he filmed a lot of his stuff. So it's got that kind of that it's like it's the opposite of claustrophobic, right? It's kind of a bigger atmosphere, and what's going on with the characters is very subtle, but it's very horror driven too. And of course, he took body horror to a different level. And honestly, I think that that if they wanted to remake anything out of his catalog, I think Scanners needs a remake. Because I think that Stephen Lack was a good actor, but it's the only part he ever did, right? So nobody knows who the fuck he is. They start watching the movie and they don't realize who James Doohan is. Not James Doohan.
And I'm pretty
McGowan. James McGowan. God, I can't remember his name.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we could get Michael Ironside in on it.
Yeah, even as part of it, as maybe playing down Revik's part, right?
Yeah.
Let me look up his name, The Prisoner. Are you familiar with that TV series? That TV series from the 1960s, late 60s. Patrick McGowan, that's his name. Yeah, and he plays Longshanks in the William Wallace movie, Freedom. If I can remember the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's the one that throws his gay son's lover out the window. It's a great scene, man. He is a fantastic actor, but everybody thought like he was British and shit, and he was a Canadian guy, and so he plays Daniel Revik in that movie, the owner of the pharmaceutical company. It's a good story. Great, yeah, Braveheart. Thank you, Lucky Larry, and The Dark One. That's what I love about the chat. Who needs a memory? I'm just saying. I would like to have like a little USB port in the back of my head just so I could store shit. Yeah.
If I could assume that my information wouldn't get stolen that way, or God forbid I get rewritten.
Oh no, right? Exactly. Oh, all right.
Goddamn microphone keeps dropping on me.
Yeah.
Staying in one spot.
I'm trying to pull mine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, is the arm that's holding your mic dropping on you?
Yeah, slowly but surely. Hold on a second.
Yeah, mine like is racing. I have to keep pulling it down. Oh. Yes, the Wallace Clan Gang. The Rippers, sci-fi slasher movie. Mitch, Uzi and I were talking about Time After Time with Malcolm McDowell playing H.G. Wells, and he invents he's got a time machine and he follows Jack the Ripper into the future. It's pretty goddamn good, man. Yeah. That's the Malcolm McDowell. Anything with Malcolm McDowell in it is worth watching once. The older stuff, because he did some fucking crazy acting. Caligula.
Oh man,
Well,
there's not only Caligula, but
Clockwork Orange.
Have you ever heard of a movie that he did? What was it, like 2014, 2013. Called Evelinko, based off of the Russian serial killer Andrei Chikatilo.
What's it called again?
Evelinko. Evilenko.
No.
It is a very disturbing movie. But yeah, he basically plays a character that's based off of the child abductor and serial killer Andrei Chikatilo.
Wow.
And boy, is he fucking creepy all the way through it.
All right, let me. I got a couple of donos in here. Anonymous tips $5 and says, "Hey bud, and Cryptic sends $2 super chat. Cyndi Lauper? ? Not that time after time. No, it's a movie.
Yeah,
it's a yeah. And Mitch the Ripper concurs that he thinks it's a good movie too. So if Mitch likes it, then it's got to be good. He's awesome. What it's like man, I'm so glad you mentioned Exorcist 3. So it's like because it kind of reinforces I don't know my taste. It has because it's like I've seen so much shit. I went through a phase of just the J horror. And then, I've watched just every. So, have you ever seen Sadako versus Kyoko, where it's the chick from The Ring versus the chick from The Grudge?
Yeah, no, I haven't made it to those yet.
Man, okay, Koji Shiraishi is a great fucking director, and he talk about doing a lot of great stuff with a little bit of money. Man, his it's called Culture. It's really hard to find shit, but his name is Koji Shiraishi. He does one called Kotaro, The Cult, and that's the thing with the 7 leeches on the dude's leg. Just saying, if you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of, it's very Lovecraftian and stuff. So he's good.
I need to start getting into the Japanese horror a bit more. It's something that I keep edging on. Like I keep getting certain ones in. I've seen Audition. Fuck, I own it. And I'm a huge fan of the woman that. I'm a huge fan of that woman's acting, even though one of the other ones I have, it's called Hell Driver, and it's basically what was it, Tokyo Gore Police or something like that? That had the girl with the chainsaw armor, sword, or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, Hell Driver is very much like that. Zombie apocalypse, girl is going up against the baddie. The baddie is played by the chick from The Audition, and yeah, it's a very entertaining movie. It is all the fuck over the place, and it's like 2 hours long. So long sit, but well worth it.
Oh, I can, man. You give me a good slow boil, and if it's like paying off. With the pace, I'll go on balls deep and stay there, man. I'll watch 4-hour films and shit.
This shit is one of those movies where it starts off ridiculous and just gets more and more ridiculous. If you just want to, if it will help pique everyone's interest. There is a fist fight between a monster and a compact truck. And by that I mean like a Nissan or like a Ford Ranger, something about that size. And this dude is supposedly fighting this monster by throwing this truck in reverse and drive and all that, and it's somehow throwing punches and shit. It is absurd, and it is the most entertaining things you can watch. So Hell Driver, go find it. It's wonderful.
UA asks $5 and says, okay, yes or no, KMDFM.
Oh, KMFDM? Fuck yeah.
Pig.
I'm not so big on the NDFMK era of them because just I don't know.
Right.
It just seemed to have the heart in it that KMFDM does. But fucking huge fan.
All right. What about VNV Nation?
VNV Nation's pretty good. I wish I'd gotten more into their stuff, but it was. I wound up listening more to things similar to like Comba Christ, more of the AgriTech stuff. Or then it was like the more of the like goth dance stuff, similar to like Switchblade Symphony.
What, Slipknot?
Slipknot, I'm kind of a Milk Toast fan on. The first couple albums, very much an interesting sound. But, I think about the time that he did Corey went off and did Stone Sour. It really kind of hurt what Slipknot was, and I don't know. I think they started getting the fire back, and well, I don't know. Now I'm just kind of over it. So, but I've always been one of those against the grain kind of people. Everybody else into this band, it's like, yeah, but I found something better, and nobody knows about it.
All right. What about Pantera?
I gotta give Pantera some love just because A, Texas boys, B, Pantera's the fucking shit, and C, close connections to my favorite band, which is Typo Nick.
Oh yeah, Typo. Yeah, that makes a lot of that's a no-brainer for you, man. I should have figured that shit out. What is Wolfsheim? Have you ever heard of them?
Which one?
Wolfsheim.
Wolfsheim. It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, well, White Zombie, Soundgarden. Have you ever heard of them?
Okay. White Zombie is probably one of the influences that kind of pushed me more into industrial when I first came across them.
It's good shit.
When I first found finding Nine Inch Nails, and then hearing like Thunderkiss 65 and Welcome to the Planet, motherfucker, and then having it followed up with I'm sorry, Astro Creep 2000 was probably the best it ever got as far as what Rob Zombie put together, and as far as the music that I would say it really kind of took hold at that time, at least within that band. That was it. That was their pinnacle. That album's great from beginning to end. And it's a shame that an asshole will never get that again.
What do you think about Rob Zombie as a director?
Not a big fan. Okay, so I adore 70s exploitation, and seeing something like House of a Thousand Corpses, I was super excited. Went and saw it with him, actually, and it was a good movie. Then I heard he was getting a sequel. I was like, fuck yeah, all right, this is going to be great. And Devil's Rejects took it in a different direction, and I almost wish that he had made an entirely separate characters. Maybe something based on similar things, but
Right, the Firefly family. I know exactly what you're saying, because when the Devil's Rejects, they went more like just brutality,
and became like just killers, right? And oh my God, have you seen 3 from Hell?
I have not made it through 3 from Hell.
Oh man!
And Wolf, I am using a pop filter. There is something going on tonight. We're not sure what.
Metal Man is clearly a master of horror. Look, he's doing the scariest thing imaginable, using a shitty mic without a pop filter. Well, True Wolf.
Hey, if you want to come do my audio, by all
thanks for the $4.99, man. But I don't know.
Oh, I don't take any offense, man. It's all good.
Okay, man. I just don't. I don't like it when people shit on the people in the chat. Or people, my guests.
Nothing they can say will bother me. I can promise you, I say worse shit about myself any day of the week than anybody could ever say about me otherwise. So, like, shitty microphone, yeah. Maybe just a shitty soundboard at the moment. I probably need to clean the connector.
It may be the interface it may have to do with Windows, because I know a guy that's having the same problem through StreamYards, and he had it got better when he cut down. I can't remember what fucking program it was. It was something he was running that had like a video codec in it. So anyway, but it happens on it's a Windows thing, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Mitch put it as far as Rob Zombie as a director. He's kind of got just one trick, and it's not a very good one.
Yeah, and seeing the Halloween and shit, he's where he lost me. Giving Michael Myers a fleshed out, serial killer background just totally blows the idea of the concept of Michael Myers. Right? Michael Myers is your all-American boy kid that's just fucking evil and possessed to some degree, right?
Depending on how far into the weird folklore they're coming up with him now, yeah. Because apparently they're bringing in like the Silver Shamrock into the series again, but they're like trying to tie it into Michael and why he is the way he is, and it's like, okay, well, at least you're giving 3 credence finally.
Yeah, man, and that's another thing, man.
Why everyone always shit on that movie? I never understood.
No shit, man. True Wolf 9 says $1.99 says it was a joke. All right, come on, Law. Okay. Well, cool, man. I appreciate that. I take some ribbon and stuff, but I got to be, hey, look, man, when they're coming at you, you get the most flack when you're over the target. Just saying.
Well, I'm not a fucking professional if my shit doesn't sound like I'm in a goddamn garbage can stuck inside the sword somewhere. All right, I just need the reverb.
All right, so here's a good question. What do you think is the penultimate, your favorite depiction of Lovecraft in a film?
Ooh.
And then separate from that, your favorite quote, a cosmic horror film. But we've talked about color, so that's off the table.
Okay. Outside of Color Out of Space, I would say From Beyond. And I've seen several iterations of it. Surprisingly, one of my favorites is actually a claymation version that is up on YouTube. That is a very interesting kind of depiction of the story, a little bit truer to what it was, where Crawford is the villain instead of the kind of the sad victim of things at the end.
Oh wow. See, I thought you were going to talk about when you talked about the stop motion, the Call of Cthulhu silent film that the
that
society.
One's interesting as well.
I loved it.
I absolutely adore anything with puppets. So stop motion animation, it's just puppets that can move on their own.
I love that, man. When I was Ray Harryhausen was like one of my heroes, right? Legit. You know.
Well, and there is something very unnerving about, like, especially what is that old fucking movie with the weird dinosaur, like that looks like a brontosaurus, but it keeps attacking people and shit. Or am I thinking King Kong? Am I fucking thinking King Kong?
Maybe, yeah. The original King Kong had a scene like that in it.
Yeah, I think that was the original one. It's been a while since I've seen the original.
Yeah,
so
Willis O'Brien. Yeah. Yep. He was the pioneer.
Okay. No one talks about Dagon.
I love that movie. I'll defend it. I'm sorry.
No, that movie is not the worst. It is definitely not the worst in the Lovecraft universe of shit that's actually been made. That would probably go to the Unnameable. That one was because it was based off of The Outsider, but it was not in any way, shape, or form what I would call The Outsider.
No, to be honest, I didn't think it was that great. You know, I'm snobby as hell when it comes to shit, dude. You know.
Castle Freak was probably closer to fucking
yes.
Closer to The Outsider.
Yeah, a better telling of the story. What I loved about Dagon, it was more like a love letter to the Shadow over Innsmouth, right? It just that whole sector of the mythos is just I think they did a great job with the fish people and the deep ones and and Dagon, worshiping Dagon.
And I really appreciated the use of tentacles.
Did you see the Whisper in the Darkness? That the Society put out?
I don't think I've made it to that one. I don't think
Oh my God. If you all right, so I don't know if you haven't read it, then read it, man. And
I'm very very aware of that.
You know the story then. All right, cool. They do it fucking justice, which is kind of hard to. And it's in black and white too. That's what I love about them. Because when you do stuff in black and white, it's like you can. There's some creative tricks you can use that you can't use on color, right? So,
this is very true.
Yeah,
it's easier to mask shit for sure.
Yeah, and if it's done properly, a good black and white film is all about the way that the layout and the composition, things like that, because it's very difficult. See, that's another problem you have to solve without color, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Well, and at least with black and white, you can do. You don't have to devote as much time to color correction or, well, hell, even film matching for that point. You can kind of use two different film sources and splice it together, and in black and white, it comes across as artistic, where in color, it just looks like you didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
All right, so do you count The Mist because it was a good movie? Lucky Larry asks.
I would count The Mist to a degree as I would something like The Void.
Yes.
I might even go so far as to say there is an angle to Cabin in the Woods that would be, I would consider very much Lovecraftian.
Oh yeah, the end.
Just the idea of being able to bring all these varying horrific monstrosities to one place almost implies something like portals or something transverse between voids. They have access to them in some form or fashion.
Right.
Despite everything I know about the movie, I still haven't made it to seeing it yet. It's on the list, though.
Yeah, no. Oh, dude, that's good. So yeah, I'm glad we're having this talk because it's like I might do like a horror movie watch or some shit occasionally, and I'll definitely invite you to those where we explore. Recently I just turned back on to some of the French extreme stuff, like Murders and what was that? It's another French one, man. But I mean, it's like brutal shit. It's good stuff. Oh, Levide, the vampire story. That's right.
I was going to say, you're not talking high tension, are you?
Well, that's all right. So, Haute Tension was the beginning of the brutality. Raw is a good movie. Have you ever seen that?
No, but another one that's on the list because I've heard very good things about it.
It's a little more nuanced, but it's still a good movie. And it uses music in a very creepy way that really works. What was that guy named Jesus Franco? Some of his movies,
goddamn, just Franco.
Yeah. Tombs of the Blind Dead, or I know he didn't do that, but he do Tombs of the Blind Dead 2 or some shit.
He did the movie that actually got me interested in watching these movies and tearing them apart while looking for something to love in them. And yeah, he made Oasis of the Zombies, and that is the I have an old VHS copy, and it is the ugliest, piss-soaked looking fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, with the worst goddamn dialogue, and I have no fucking clue what the hell is going on with the story. I feel like I need opiates to make it through this thing, and it's...
part of me thinks that he was just using it as a vehicle to get porn, to do porn, and get away with it.
Sure.
Right?
I'm pretty fucking sure. Between him and Ted V. Michaels, I don't know who.
Yeah.
I don't know who tried to exploit their fucking people more. to
no shit, man. Holy Lord. What did you think about? All right, so Eli Roth, his love letter to Cannibal Holocaust and those types of movies. That Green Inferno. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen Green Inferno, probably because it's an Eli Roth movie.
Yeah, right. I know. Some people have a problem. I mean, Hostel was okay.
Hostel was okay. I'm not a huge fan of how he approaches things. Because, Hostel and Cabin Fever are vastly different movies, but there's something juvenile. Is that it?
Yeah. No. Absolutely, yes.
Like he's aiming for the lowest possible fruits he can reach.
Well, at times, yeah.
You know,
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. The lowest common denominator kind of thing always irritated me.
I get that. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think he exploits that to some degree, and but I like Cabin. I mean, was
Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever.
At least the juvenile approach there actually works for something similar to like Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Like, you can only take this movie so seriously because of the shit that these people are saying and just the overall series. It's a obvious horror movie, but there's some brevity here. And let's be honest.
Definitely. Yeah.
Everybody die in that. I mean,
yeah,
there are just some movies that you want to see the characters eat it. All of them. Get rid of them all. I don't care. Oh, the nice girl and the nice guy. Fuck them. Feed them to whatever the hell comes through the door. Can we bring back Pumpkinhead, please?
Pumpkinhead was good. See, man, I'll defend that one too. I'm with you, dude. All right, so we do need to move, keep. I could stay on horror for hours with you, man. Because you can tell. I think this conversation alone will tell people how much we both love horror. And we'll put our fucking shit on the line. And I like that about you, man.
I got a wall full of DVDs in the other room. About 90% of it's horror, maybe 85%. There are some comedies in there. And got a shit ton of signed pictures from the horror convention that we go to we try to go to every year, but the last couple of years has not happened. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, China. You're right. All right, so touch on. All right, so, all right, I'm going to ask one more film. Your opinion: which is a better film, Event Horizon or Alien? I figured that was the hardest question I could ask you, man.
Oh, God damn it. I'm gonna have to go with Alien, but holy shit, that is an incredibly difficult question.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. That's why I threw it at you. You know,
and the only reason that Alien actually gets the win is probably because of the matte backgrounds that they painted and H.R. Geiger.
Of course, absolutely.
That's one of my favorite artists. So, yeah, on that front, yeah, Alien would have to win. But, oh man, Event Horizon.
Yes.
God, I really wish that certain things had been expanded on a bit more in that movie.
Oh no shit, dude. It's like it's like The Void. I want more movie. You know, the Void kind of like left me hanging at the end, right? Because what happens when they on the other side. So, but I did love that shit. But, that's that. It's a good movie when when you leave it wanting more. That's a
okay.
good.
And I do have to address something real quick. He said Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is absolutely one of my favorites. And Bloodletter said the Hammer House stuff. Yeah. The, Hammer horror films are probably some of the greatest that were ever made.
Absolutely. Vampire Circus is a personal favorite of mine. I love that movie.
Anything with there are certain things that you can pull up from like I'll say like 50s up through like mid 80s. But if they had Vincent Price, Basil Rathbone, Christopher Lee, or Peter Cushing in it, you're gonna have a good time.
Yes, no doubt. It's just like Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Both are two fantastic movies. From that.
Speaking of,
yeah, go ahead.
Do you know the woman that he is his wife in the original movie is actually Carolyn Monroe?
No. Oh, that makes sense. Boy, you talk about a looker, dude. She's in what, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger?
Maniac.
Yeah, Maniac. Yeah, hottie Brit bitch.
Oh God. What was the one from Britain that was like the Christmas movie? Was it Don't Open Till Christmas? I think it was Don't Open Till Christmas that she was in as well.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong on that.
Yeah, she's kind of like Barbara Steele, you know. She's got that very striking brunette look, you know. Cool.
God, and the only downside to Barbara Steele is that she didn't have a great agent, or she just wasn't given the greatest scripts, because some of these were just.
Oh, I think the Bava stuff is where she shined out, and he utilized her the best. I think that's my opinion. But I'm a Bava dude. I love what's that space vampires on the Planet of Vampires? I think it's called. Anyway, so like I said, we could talk for 2 hours, and I got to wrap. Or get close. All right, so if you have any questions for Mr. Mad Metal Man, put them in the chat right now, and I'm going to ask him the Pivo questions, because we were blessed by the goat. Goat Man came by earlier and said hey, and if I don't do this, it's like this is the lifting questionnaire time. While people load in, just put in some. Yes, I like Coal Shack, man. And Life Force, both of those movies are good.
Life Force. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like the only thing that girl was in was Life Force?
Yeah. No. All right. So she's a British actress. She's in other shit. But that was the only thing she ever did horror-wise. And, man, I knew a girl that looked exactly like her, but I never saw her naked. And I had a huge crush on her after I saw that movie.
You know what? I will give her major props for doing that, just because that can't be comfortable to do that day in and day out on shooting in various forms of fashions, especially if latex or any shit like that isn't, or blood. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go through that. Not nude.
Exactly. And it was a great take on vampirism, I think. It was a good story, man. The Keep. Did you ever see that? That's a great, movie. I think, man, some of those Euro-American combos in the 80s were just, that far from being just electric fantastic, right? But they're still good. All right, what I'm going to do, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to get to the James Lipton questionnaires, of course. Because, I'm a big fan of James Lipton. He passed away, and so as an homage to him, I use his questions that he asks everybody in his show. And there's 10 simple questions. What is your favorite word?
Just in general? Whew. Yeah, much like a lot of people, probably fuck. Just because that's the one where it's got the most use. It can be angry, it can be happy, it can be incredibly spiteful, it can be kind of dismissive and depressed. Fuck is a good all-around word.
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
like,
really disagree with that one.
it's like
There's a reason why people keep saying it.
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
your
fuck?
fuck? Yeah. Hey, you want to fuck? You know, it's like so many usage. What's your least favorite word? Sorry.
My least favorite.
Thanks, Bloodletter.
Probably gonna say that non-binary.
Oh, that's a word. We'll count that as one word.
I mean, that gets into a whole slew of other shit, but just something about the fucking term just kind of irritates me.
Pisses me off. Yeah, me too. What turns you on? Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it, man.
All right. So, what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, and this may be a bit strange, but misery. I'm most comfortable writing and kind of being in that weird nebulous area where things are not going great, things are kind of tumultuous, and I don't need the happiness because happiness, and it's usually fleeting. The misery comes all fucking time, sweeps it away. So
yeah, I've got a lot of physical pain in my life, and I just, I've turned it into, it's God's way of telling me I'm still alive. So, all right. So, what turns you off emotionally, spiritually, or creatively?
In general, probably the worst thing that just kills like everything and just makes me want to distance from everyone is I don't even know how to describe it other than that weird feeling after somehow given into emotional blackmail. That just really irritates the ever-living shit out of me, and I shut down and will do so for long periods of time. It's like, oh, everybody just needs to fuck off. You can all kiss my ass. I'll be back in a little bit, but screw this person because I was stupid enough to fall for it. That kind of shit.
I get it. Yeah, and that's a very descript. I really love your ability to articulate exactly what you mean, man. You're very good at that. All right, so now
you have to be able to talk it out somehow.
Right. All right, so now what is your favorite curse word? Since you said fuck is your favorite word, what's your favorite curse word?
Twunt. It's something that somebody said to me the other day, and it's a combination of
twat and cunt. Yes.
And it's become my new favorite word. So everybody, twunt. Go call somebody a twunt and see what happens.
Everybody say hi to Booney. Welcome. Big hug for the girl from Finland. I think that's where she's from. Somewhere where there are a lot of white people.
I thought she was Norwegian.
I don't know. I might have just insulted her. I might have insulted her, so I need to shut up.
No, you didn't call her Dutch. You're fine.
Well, what sound or noise do you love?
What? I'm sorry?
What sound or noise do you love?
I really like the sound of metal scraping against metal, like that, like the sharpening of knives, stuff like that. Yeah, great, fantastic sound, and you can do a lot with it. Just like on a sampling aspect, if you drop the pitch down and slow it, if you got like a quick maybe one like half-second loop, just stretch it out to like a good 4 or 5 second loop and drop it a little bit. You will get some of the weirdest, eeriest sounds ever out of just some metal scraping.
It's
got some great uses.
Hell
and
yeah.
It's a death sharp.
All right, what sound or noise do you hate?
Man.
What?
That is a hard question. Probably nails on a chalkboard, just because it's too high pitched. It's weird because it's within the same realm as like metal scrapings, but there's something else about it that like there's almost that physical feel that comes with it. It triggers in your head, and so it's like I can almost feel it on my nails and stuff.
Feel it in your bones, dude. Yeah. Well, steel, steel's got its own kind of gravity about it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's especially if you're sharpening steel with yourself, with steel. All right, so what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be a screenwriter as well. I've gotten the music thing, and I've gotten a lot of the other stuff that I was really interested in. I may not be the greatest at, but I'm at least semi-happy with where I'm at, or at least the progress that I'm showing it. So, but man, I don't know.
Well, all right, what profession?
Maybe.
What profession would you not like to attempt?
Accounting.
Okay.
I figure it'd probably be a better time going to the dentist without any painkillers and telling him to remove all my teeth than being an accountant. I've heard stories, man. I don't want to put up with that shit.
I hear you. All right, and the final is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Here's the keys. I've been keeping the throne warm.
Shit. Fantastic. It's a great answer. So, does anybody have any questions for Mad Metal Man I want to throw out there? All right. Because we're at the end of the Lipton questions, and this is the time where, all right, so talking about YouTube, we kind of come full circle, right? And so who would you say is a criminally undersubscribed YouTuber that you want to promote? Somebody that you think's doesn't get enough love.
I would outside of present company, I would have to say, man, probably Pants Ninja.
Yeah,
just because the man does a fair amount just to try to get some people together and have a good conversation on some whole.
Yeah, he's a sweet dude.
He really is, and honestly, if he ever got the opportunity to move past just working all the goddamn time, I think we'd see some incredible shit from him. outside of that, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what Evil Dead Ed does, but from what I understand, some things happened within the past couple of days, and, well, his money may be diverted elsewhere for a while, but all for good stuff.
Has he been in the? I didn't see. I haven't noticed him in the chat. Yeah, he had. Let's see. All right. So, what about a YouTuber you say is way overhyped?
I don't know. Most of the bullshit stuff, like all the Hollywood studios putting out their trailers, because those are usually the ones that wind up polluting my my feed that I have zero interest in. Especially the Marvel movies, like, dear fucking God, like, get back to me when you're not in the process of mutilating the fuck out of every character they've ever created.
I mean, we go there, dude. I mean,
however, with that said, I am interested in seeing Morbius, but I'm prepared to be disappointed.
All right, so let's see. Mirrored Mantis wants to know: did you eat today?
Yes, I had 3 children and a missing person from about 2 weeks ago, but they've been sitting in my fridge for.
I didn't know you were an elite. I would have rolled out the gold carpet for you. All right, so what do you think of the 2 Korean horror shows, Sweet Home and Geodome or Goidome? Goidome?
I am aware of.
I'm not familiar with that either. I hadn't heard of that shit.
I'm gonna have to look. Because I really do appreciate there's
all right, we lost you again, dude.
Oh, did we?
All right, there you go. There you're back.
Oh, okay. Holy shit. You never know what's going on with this thing. No, as far as the Korean stuff, like, I really appreciated stuff like The Tale of Two Sisters and things like that. It was really good. And of course, you got things like Old Boy.
Yeah.
So I'm always interested in seeing what the Koreans come up with, because they got some interesting shit.
Are you familiar with Barbara for You to See? Do you know who that is?
I believe I've heard the name. I'm pretty sure I've seen things of her, maybe tweets of hers, but as far as do I actually know her, no, I do not.
Okay. Do you have an opinion of her content?
I'm actually very unfamiliar with her content.
Okay.
But, have to go look into it if it is something that is being recommended.
Okay, now Madness, he asked that question, and he asked this question: who's your favorite slasher?
Probably a toss-up between Freddy or Jason. Probably leaning more towards Freddy, just because it's more of an enigmatic character. There's so much more energy there. Where Jason is a lumbering force, and man, if he only had just a hair of personality, it would be great.
Okay, what is the worst movie you've ever seen, and why is it the Carol Danvers movie? He can't even say it, Captain Marvel.
Okay, so Captain Marvel movie is actually not the worst thing I've ever seen. Granted, I still haven't seen it, and I don't plan on it, but and Brie Larson is terrible. But no, I would have to say Swamp Ape, and that was because I've never seen a green Bigfoot with a dog dick before, and I will never get that fucking image out of my head.
That sounds great, dude. All right, so hold on. What's your favorite OG meme?
My favorite what meme?
Original old school meme from back in the day.
My favorite meme of all time would have to be Ugandan Knuckles. He spoke for a people and nobody listened. He will never be forgotten in my book.
Indeed. Man, what's the worst thing you've ever seen or done?
I'm sorry?
What's the worst thing you've ever seen or done?
Close range shotgun blast to the underside of somebody's skull.
Oh, dude.
I still got the shirt around here somewhere with the blood kind of stained into it. Could never get rid of it for whatever reason.
Okay.
But yeah, I would have to say, hands down, the worst fucking thing I've ever seen.
All right. And if you had a death note, whose names would you write in it? What would be the first name you wrote in it? Put it that way.
I don't know. If it could understand context, I would just I would save everybody some trouble. Right, let's go, Brandon, and then sign it.
Oh, dude, you're winning me over, dude. I mean, you just put me over the top. Just saying. And all right, so yeah, here's a: would you bang your alternative universe counterpart, and would it be incest or would it be masturbation or both?
Probably not. Just because I don't even think my alternate universe self would. I don't think I don't think I would find it attractive. I don't think it would find me attractive. So
fair enough. I hear you. Yeah, and Becca would ask you if you had any strange collections.
No, not really. Okay, well, no, sort of. So, despite my huge middle finger to Marvel a few moments ago, because fuck everything Marvel, I really do love Venom. Venom is just a character that, for whatever reason, just leaped out at me, and I've always loved it. Him and Morbius are the only two reasons I continued reading Marvel up after they introduced the Ultimate Universe, because that's really where I stopped looking into comics for the most part. But I really enjoy collecting Venom toys, Venom comics. I'm still trying to get a hold of Maximum Carnage, the video game, but I do have a copy of Separation Anxiety. So I've got one of the two games.
I got the origin issue of that, of Carnage, somewhere around here.
And, everybody thinks that I'd be even bigger into Carnage because, it's, he's into blood and he's crazy. It's like, yeah, but Venom had standards. Venom is the anti-hero, and I can far more identify with the anti-hero because sometimes you have to get messy in order to make shit right.
Right. I would be fascinated to see your opinion of the Maximum Carnage movie.
The movie state, and we'll talk. I know they're bringing in all the characters into the universe, so there's the possibility of it happening.
No, it's not Maximum Carnage. It's just it's the birth of Carnage, the origin of Carnage, the movie, and the one that was just released. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not at all how the fuck it happened. that's pretty much the base of it. But I will give, from what I've seen of it, I'll give the CGI department credit that it's not as blurry as the first one, and you actually got some scenes in there where it's like, yeah, you pretty much nailed how Carnage looks and acts and how he would move in a fight.
All right, so this is the time where we ask to see, do you have anything content-wise that you've got in the works that you want to promote here?
In the works, well, I was hoping to have some music done before the show, but some things have popped up over the past few weeks, and it just wasn't able to. But that will be done hopefully by mid-January at the latest. Got some things hopefully in the works with Pants Ninja, but we'll see what happens there. I got something possibly in the works with some real life friends that have asked for some help and some voiceover stuff, but we'll see what works on there, because their schedule, it's a lot of up in the airs, but hopefully something entertaining. Otherwise, I'm just going to float around and annoy the fuck out of everybody else.
Fair enough. And before you part, it's a tradition that you share your channel and have a final word for the chat before we scoot.
All right. Well, go find the Mad Metal Man channel. It's there somewhere. If you go to my Twitter, I have it linked there. And my Twitter is @TheMadMetalMan. It's important to put the in there because a lot of people just think it's Mad Metal Man, and that gives you like 3 other fucking people.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
Now.
Yeah, the links below to the Twitter and to his YouTube page. Click it, fam.
And as for a final word, a lot of you I've known for a while, and a lot of you I've just met, and some of you I've just kind of seen back and forth. But I truly do appreciate you coming out and at least listening to me bullshit for, what was this, like 2.5, almost 3 hours?
Dude, man, I mean, the time has fucking flown by. Holy shit.
I am a time vampire on that front.
No,
like,
it's
you get into a conversation with me, you're gonna look away and you're gonna come back and be like, it was only 3 o'clock a moment ago. What the fuck happened?
That's usually the sign of it's a good show, dude. Trust me. I've done this a lot. All right. The final word for the people watching?
Yeah, just thanks for coming out. Thanks for asking questions. And you know what? I'll be catching up with a lot of you somewhere out there in the wild internet ether.
Well, fantastic, man. And I want to concur to the thanks to the chat. Everybody, you've been awesome and been very active. It's nice to see y'all banting in a loving, caring way. And this time next week, it's going to be Outlaw 4115, also known as Gulf City Outlaw, if you recognize that name. And of course, tomorrow, Beck and I will be looking at some more Vlad Jaffe's interviews with communists in the street. He's a guy that lived in the Soviet Union for until he was 29, and he made it to the United States. So he's got an opinion about these neo-communists here. So
look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does a lot of man of the street stuff with these people. It's great shit. So, and on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. What about you?
Have a good evening, everybody, and remember to stay tasty.